So, I'm here to put out an unofficial offer up deal. I would like to have my own mini resourced RBE economy right now. If anyone can teach me how to construct a car for free. In return, I do some warehouse work for a while. I'm game. I don't really like the capitalist model. We're not exchanging currency, right? The currency we're exchanging are Clash for Clunkers, right? We're following the Clash for Clunkers model. Well, I don't want to pay like 10K for a car auto dealership for some car from in case my car breaks down. Insurance policy, right? That's an SJW. You gotta have your insurance cards ready, right? Because your safe space isn't going to remain safe forever, right? You got the conservatives and the liberals. They're all trying to poke each other's safe space in today's scary modern age. Right, you're gonna need some water filter for that one, right? Alex Jones style. Right, let's think about it. Please give me some insurance. You know, I may not be able to get a new job, but I definitely want a house to move away from. Tell me which slave labor I need to do. I need a new house. Don't want to pay rental. Don't talk about food stamps. Amazon sucks, you guys. You can't advertise for Amazon forever, right? Right? You know, hey, 17, that's what? Food stamps? You can't do anything with that. For all I know, right? Remember that complaint the Amazon managers had a while back where it's like they are all paid $15 an hour? They're going to go back to that model if this keeps up, right? I've been looking at the stock price for Amazon. It's like $3,000. It's been flatlining for a while. And I think we've reached our zenith with current leadership, right? That's not a good thing. You want promotions, the stock has to keep rising. Right, you can game the system where you have Amazon collapses back to 500 and then goes back to 1,000 to 3,000, then goes back to 5,000, right? I mean 500, my bad. You can do that. You can have that model, but then that doesn't really help the company. It's just financial manipulation. And you have to time it right. Right? You gotta time it right, and that's too risky. That's not a sustainable model for e-commerce growth. So all we have is $3,000. And we will go back to 15 if we want to keep the stock stable. Or food stamps, right? For the managers. No one tells the truth. You ever went on Glassdoor, ever wonder why a manager is paid $20,000 an hour, a year? I'll tell you why. That's because that's the actual salary. Anytime there's a low ball, the chances are that's the actual salary in the long run. There is no salary negotiation. Because the employer holds all the cards. I'll tell you how a real negotiation is held. Imagine NAFTA. You're the United States, you're negotiating with China. You are both independent freelancers. You can both walk away. If you think of these, China and America, you ever saw the Hentalia? They're both people. They can both walk away with a tofu. That's real negotiation. That's not the same with your employer. Right? You can't walk away like that. You don't have your own source of income, right? Right? The US has their own freelance gig, which is like, hey, I can start my own business. I'm sorry. You gotta call people out, right? I love that SJW show. I like to pretend it is. Look at those cute little yaoi boys, right? Right, look at them. Look at that. That's politics in a nutshell. Oh, there's Germania, right? That's what I think of politics. I think of Hentalia. I legitimately don't take it seriously. When you have a shallow society, you have Hentalia. You don't have something legitimate, right? You have the Weimar Republic. Mentally, on the mental, spiritual level, you have the Weimar Republic. People are spiritually bankrupt. That's the problem with our society. We buy too much into consumerism, so we don't get legitimate social change for anything. Consumerism is never going to stop. And as long as you're buying into consumerism, you're always going to trend towards the right. That's the inevitable fate of all empires. They have to become conservative. That's why I'm saying, like when I started out, if any SJWs are watching, when I started, I remember I offered myself, hey, I'm going to put my personal beliefs last and yours first. Because I know what society, what system this society champions, right? What the system champions. It champions the right. If you're championing consumerism, you're always going to go for capitalism no matter what. RBE, even in the United States, it's going to go through consumerism because we always want to feel superior under a consumer society, right? So we're going to create our own hierarchies that make us feel better. It's just what it is. Nothing bad or wrong with it. It's just a dumb argument to fight that you're not looking for right-wing outcomes. And if we're having a real talk right now. A left-wing outcome is like, hey, you're a billionaire, you're going to split your wealth among your village, right? You're not going to do that. No, you're not. You're going to feel like you want to feel like a right-winger saying, hey, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? You feel superior. You don't actually say what you mean, by the way. You just don't want to help them. Right? NIMBY, not in my backyard. It just makes you feel better. That's basically what's going on in politics today. You consume, you eat a lot, you're going to feel like a conservative. It's when you consume stuff, does that feel like a caring society? You waste so much food. Couldn't you give it to someone poor? See, that's what I'm talking about. No matter what social change you fight, even if you get what you wanted, you're still going to feel like you're going to still aim for capitalism in the end. And it might be a better outcome, might not be. You're still going to aim for those hierarchies. Now, if you're anti-consumerist, right, like Europe, that's a different story. You can actually get something like equality. Like, here's what's going to happen. You're a leftist, United States, you achieve UBI, universal healthcare. You're going to go for an unequal hierarchy where you still have those, but it's still unequal. You wouldn't be against it. Yeah, as long as you have a ladder, everyone has a ladder to climb there. You're still going to have the inequality. It's a cheat code. There's cheat codes within everything. It's just one of those things you don't want to talk about because there's like, well, then I have to sell a complex message. Which doesn't sell to anyone because people like slogans and they like to yell at each other and make themselves feel good, which they carry on through their child rearing, through childhood. I'm just telling you. Your employer is your parent. At least with today's family unit structure. Like, seriously, look at how Fluke complains about the job process. That implies the employer is your parent. They're your nanny, they're your mommy, they're your daddy. And I'll be honest, they can do nothing and they still get that slave trade relationship if this keeps up. They have to. They need to survive. It'll be a reluctant one because there's so much shame. People say corporate work family, but even then, it's like, yeah, I had this, I'm making rich, yeah, you're giving this money back, but there's so much shame in this. I don't think rich people are that bad. I'm sure you're more useful if they give you freedom. Yeah, I just don't understand people. Why is it called robber barons instead of robber and baron, right? Our barons help the original one get richer, right? They care more about getting wealth than having a slave. People, when they come down to it, care more about real estate goods, right? They don't care about having a bunch of slaves. That could be a liability. Yeah, think about this. Yeah, seriously, everyone, if you live in consumers, you will trend toward conservatism. It doesn't even matter if the system has issues. Right? You ever seen all those rich leftists? They all act like right-wingers. You see how the right criticizes them? Because you're in a consumerist model, that's why. I've talked about this before. You just morph. You have all these materials, you morph. That's why I'm always like, buy me off, right? Because I'm not, I try to be legitimate as an SJW, but I'm really not. Because I'm saying I will advocate for your ideals first. I'm giving you a trade where I can be more legitimate than the last guy. Whoever that is, right? More legitimate than Anita Sarkeesian, right? Offer you do. Now, if someone better comes along, I'll be happy to hear it. I'll support that person. I'll vouch harder than anyone else has before. Right, this is what, and I'm telling you, my viewpoint will be adopted once you get wealth. Trust me, you will all change. You will say, huh, did I say that? Huh, I'm stupid. Conservatism is the right path. Right, because it's hedonism. What do you want? What do you expect from people? I too want to ban people. Yeah, I will say this. We need, I do want a resource base because some SJWs are too stuck in the poor class, right? They'll never be able to enjoy anything. I just want to say, I'm willing to starve just to get a luxury good. Just so I can get a ticket, right? Because if I get a house, right? I at least can move up. I can at least get a chance. Or seriously, I'll literally not work. I'll literally work free if I can get some resources to start my own business, free ones. Because I'm stuck in the poor class. I can't go through the school system. I need like something else, a backdoor. I will give you some. I'll try to pay you back in whatever way, right? Give me a list. I know how businesses start. They start out as truth or dare, okay? A lot of them did. They did not start out with this, oh yeah, I invested in this soda. By chance, it just happened, right? That's not real. Even that Paul Xavier video, I don't even think it's real, right? Oh, I took photos for free. No, it didn't. Your family pitied you, okay? And he's like, hey, that's actually better. Still complete nursing school. You see where the silver lining is? Their family helped you. They referred you to friends, right? You know it's gonna get dangerous if they didn't do that. Are you kidding me? You know how pissed off people get if they don't get compensated? They do stuff for free for 4 years? That is respectable. Yeah, that is a respectful thing to do. No one likes that. I would be pissed off. I would burn that house, okay? I see someone posting stuff for free and I like their shit and they are not getting I will go up to them and I'll give them money. If their parents force me off, try to punch me, I will kick their ass. You can ban me for that. I will have a direct conversation. Here is some money in your wallet. Thank you for actually providing free work. Thank you for actually doing the Lord's work, right? And if no one's funding for a couple years, if I have no money, I'll give you $1,000. If those are the only vids I'm watching. I will network for you, buddy, because I believe in the future. The future is with you. I'm telling you right now, I am not the most legitimate one out there. We're going to play this game now. There are legitimate ones out there. Okay? It's not Saul Alinsky, okay? Well, Saul Alinsky was never a legitimate leftist. He is a negotiator, middle of the road. You can deal with that as long as he gives you the outcomes you want, right? Do not attack people using metaphors, right? Just say, oh, Saul Alinsky, I'm going to go take him out of context. Don't do that. Don't do that for Rand either, right? I'll say the same for Rand. I don't like either of them, but you got to respect what game they're playing because you can't look at things objectively if you keep smearing people with labels. That goes for both sides. Don't do it. I'm trying to be fair here because it doesn't help you get more money because the only real prize in a consumer society is you get richer in the end. It's more resources. Yeah, and you can't do that, dude. Okay, if you look at things objectively, more money comes to you. You gotta think about what the prize in politics is, right? The prize in politics is being that guy who's like Epstein, but not without the bad stuff with Epstein, right? That's the prize you get if you look at things objectively. If you look at things with this emotional, reactive, meme-like attitude, I don't think you get anywhere. Right? Taking risks is what gets you somewhere in life. It doesn't matter which status you are in, right? At least in my opinion. I want resources. I want to go find another route to higher education. I need some resources. I want some inventory. I'll learn. I'll figure some way out. I may not be the best learner, but I will get there somehow. Someday. The climb, the summit is all that matters. Just don't bother. Look, this is all I want. Just resources. Do the resource. Do the trade. I will say this. Someone legitimate will come someday. But until then, you might as well settle with me. Assuming I have an audience. Right? We're all human. We aren't machines. I don't see anyone legitimate on the right, by the way. It's just degrees of legitimacy. The right settled that way, and unfortunately the left's going to have to, I don't want to say wake up, but they're going to have to understand reality, right? People live in spectrums. Why do you think there's colors of a rainbow, right? Right. Everyone has vices when they live their lives. It's part of the laws governed by our universe, right? And I talk about this in my blog about magic, right? Those are the colors of magic. That's because we used magic in the past. We are created by magic. If you ever read the Bible, it's sort of indirectly implied we were made by magic, right? What else is the Big Bang other than magic, you can argue? Boom! The universe started appearing, right? Right? Explosion. You ever watch that Cosmo? I don't remember what that's called. That was magic, right? Doesn't that sound like magic? Or the closest thing? At least the traditional theory. And all these colors started coming, right? Now, magic has no reliability these days because you have to do a lot of personal work, right? To make it work out for you, right? Because it operates like visual affirmations. That's basically what magic is. Right? And there's no legitimacy. So what do? You keep trading for more legitimate people as time goes on. I think I might be more legitimate than AOC, but I could be wrong. I'm just making a daring offer because because AOC, you see it too. She's got scandals on the news too, right? Of acting like a right-winger. So, in my defense, I'm being honest, so you can't scandalize me. Right? I'm the guy, I'll let you in on the latest scoop about me. And I'm warning you. You cannot live in a society. You cannot have a true leftist as long as you're a consumerist where there's someone who's not right wing, who doesn't have a little right wing in them. Jimmy wants gold. He wants to live in a yacht someday, right? He's getting there. Look at his subscribership. You can't. It just doesn't work if you're an SJW. You got to think about this, right? You really do. You can support him, sure, but you have to understand he comes with vices, right? That's why I never comment. Now, if I did comment, what I would do is I always add asterisks about certain people. So, here's what I do if I support Jimmy. Here, help Jimmy. He can support you in these causes, but here's the thing. He also has fallacies. And I don't want you calling him out on that because he's going to help you negotiate some of these conservatives to the middle road. I'm going to give you a reliable stimulus comment package, right? And he's right-wing in these. He's completely Pat Robertson in these areas. Do not call him out on that. And you call him out, I give you that list. You do not comment with humor. You comment with context. Then you can comment with humor. We can talk about humor later. You can't, dude. People have vices. We live in a capitalist society. People want to dick around, right? People want to relax. Nicer term. Right? Obviously, you're not going to act like this professional civil individual, right? Ever heard of that? Those society were like, you got to dress nice, right? You're not going to dress nice. You're not even going to be spiritually dressing nice, right? If you know what I mean. In private. Of course you act different. It takes a lot of virtue and hard work to be an SJW. Trust me. Because when you go back home, you just feel like a right-winger. It's life. It's easy to be a right-winger. Think about it. Morally, it's easy. All you have to do is go look at 4chan and say, hey, look, those memes are funny. There's no shame. You obviously are snorkeling a little bit when you look at them. Doesn't matter what the reason is. And the moment you laughed, it's subconsciously implanted in your mind, like, I actually could see a case where I actually act like that. Laughter is the first case for persuasion. It's called anchoring. You can't help yourself. It's what it is. I'm not advocating for this ideal approach. I'm advocating for degrees of legitimacy instead. Yeah, that's why I like the flexibility, because at least we have a workable roadmap for something, right? Outcomes we all share, outcomes we all agree on. Yeah, it's just what life is. Look, I'm okay with idealism. If you want to be an idealist, that's fine. Just know, at some point, you have to negotiate with the middle to get what you want. Otherwise, you're just shouting from your soapbox, and that's fine. Just admit that. Just admit that. It's okay. But just know, if you're going to be the guy who's just goes in the middle, you have to know how to apologize. I'm willing to apologize if I'm wrong. I'll do like every apology video for famous people who wrong me. Not for, now if it's obscure people, that's a different story. You're going to have to pay me. Pay me some viewerships. I'll do it. I don't care how much I lose. It's part of who I am. Because the thing is, you have to be on my radar somehow, right? I got too many things to focus on. You got to get my attention somehow. It's not fair. Whether fair or not fair, it doesn't matter. That's just life. Right? And the SJWs, I think their logo needs some work. Let's just go Photoshop some Donald Trump hats, right? Looks cooler. Get a good audience, right? I don't care, dude. Just get some money. Dude, it's hard to get through higher education. Are you kidding me? You got to get noticed somehow. Those are pretty noticeable gear, by the way. Here's some Antifa SJW hats. Don't take it seriously anymore. No, it's a legitimate move. Don't get me wrong, but like people have already like mocked and ridiculed your costume so much. Why care on that aspect? Aren't you more terrifying when you show up with batons and you wear an SJW costume? It's like the Joker. Gives you fear persuasion. Angle it right, helps your side, right? Why not? And here's the thing. Antifa's still a very profitable army for you guys. Look, I would urge you to be more flexible. Right, just try to use your troops, try to see if you can negotiate forming a business. Get resources. No, seriously, get a job. You're Minutemen, right? Yes, just go get some resources, get some cake. I don't know. I swear to God, if I can get a business going, I might, if Antifa are my customers, I might bake a cake for all of them. Who knows? I'll see what my budgetary needs are. It'll be hard, but I'll try to make it happen. You know, balancing with my schedule. It's the discipline, right? Of brinksmanship, right? The discipline of grit, hard work, and discipline that matter. Yeah, who cares, dude? You gotta be nice to your customers. People do this all the time. I have never really seen a truly organic business without doing this. Now, I could be wrong. Like, my dad got his business started with, like, beer buddies during frat college parties, right? It's not what you think on YouTube. This is all just hocus pocus, in my opinion. The copywriting one's questionable, too. How I went from 0 to 100K, I think it's still beer buddies. Or beer pong. You develop a solid friendship for a decade, right? That's how it all starts. You just go. You know, I don't care. I can't. These days, I try joining the military, so I actually have sympathies for Antifa. I don't care. I need school. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys kind of operate the same. Don't get me wrong. They might be right, they might be left, but part of life is learning how to find similarities within each other, right? And uniting. Now, why is the military right wing? They have money, they have power. It's not about because they're racist or misogynist, because they're comfortable, they got cheddar. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. And this hate gives me power from the military, but it gives you a negotiating chip if you do it. If you treat it as a negotiating chip, that's a different story. Let's go find racism, sexism in the military. Good. Now it starts a conversation. And if your main goal is college and getting safe spots without getting killed, yes. There's nothing wrong with what you did. But if your end goal is like that, legitimately that, no. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help your group, right? Because your group doesn't want to die in a battlefield either. You gotta play dumb. You got to do it. Everyone does it in the office. Yeah, the chick that billionaire shanked just labels you as a schizophrenic. I get money to shut up, right? Sorry, it's real. Talked about this before. But look, you still have to be nice to people, right? Got to play the game. Be friends with people and get stuff. But like, at the end of the day, it still happens, right? You can't. And Bill lives in that world too, right? Bill, so powerful. He's so sexy. Look at all those girls he does campaign tours with, right? Before you know it, he gets damned by one of them. Sorry, that's life. Yeah, it's a sad world. Anyways, we'll talk about this later. I got a lot of stuff to do today.